And welcome back to Sun Up, everybody. I'm Curtis Hare, and I'm joined now with our OSU Extension small grain specialist, Dr. Amanda Silva. And Amanda, as a lot of the state knows, we got some rain and some much needed, cooler temperatures. And a lot of producers, especially just the graze out producers for wheat, they're probably already starting to get it, or either itching to get out in the field if they haven't already. So what are some advice that you have for producers? You know, it's kind of hard to believe we're already talking about planting wheat, but it's that time of year.
Yeah, everything went by really fast. Yes, we do have some people going after forage, planting a little on the early side of September. As far as advice for our dual purpose producers, what we have seen is that mid-September window is the optimal time where they can maximize forage but also not penalize yield, so we still get that good yield potential for wheat in dual purpose. And for our grain only producers, still kind of early for them, so usually we aim 3-4 weeks after that optimal window from mid-September, so putting them sometime mid-October. And even our research, we are seeing that even delaying more than that mid-October, depending on the weather conditions, it's still good for grain only producers.
And for those graze out producers, are there any things considered, you know, with getting the wheat in this early and it's being cool and it's about to warm up again, which we'll touch on that here in a little bit. But for like insects, is there any insect questions? Because I do know fall armyworms were issues in the summer.
Yes. So for our graze out dual purpose producers that go in a little bit early in the fall, so they do have to watch for fall armyworms. So as soon as they plant, start getting that seedling up, so make sure to scout for that. Another thing is making sure they control volunteer weed or grassy hosts as much as possible to decrease the chances that they will get the wheat streak mosaic viruses, those viruses that are transmitted by the wheat curl mite. We had some issues with wheat streak mosaic virus last season, so a good way to control for that is trying to reduce that population of volunteer wheat and grassy host.
So as you mentioned, it's about to get warm, so some of those dual purpose producers, a lot of them, they're not going to be getting out in the fields, but it's really not a big deal to wait. But why is that?
Yeah, so what we've seen in our research is that mid-September window, it's still good for them. It's actually better for them than planting too early in September if they're going for forage and grain, because that mid-September window, even a little bit later in September, they can still get forage and not penalize yield as much for planting too early. So basically, if they plant too early in September, they can get a lot of forage, but you get some reduction in yield. But as they move into that mid-September window, a little later in September, they're still fine. They can get forage and also maximize their yield potential.
But focusing just on grain only, with as high as cattle prices are right now, it's probably really important as the wheat starts to come up to be scouting.
Yeah, so it starts now. As soon as we get the seed in the ground, we need to start scouting. So again, for those fall armyworms, for curl mites, aphids, so all those pests that can occur in the fall. So it's a good practice to start walking the fields and keep a look at it.
Alrighty, thanks Amanda. Dr. Amanda Silva, OSU Extension small grain specialist here at Oklahoma State University.